Actress, motivational speaker and gender-based violence activist Kentse Badirwang has penned a moving novel based on her life story in a book titled KATTEY'S ARROW, Cruel Journey to Her Purpose. Kentse's debut book follows the journey of a young girl who from birth felt her life was accompanied by a profound spirit of darkness that always landed her in painful and emotionally draining situations. She is in studio with us this morning to tell us more about this offering. A very good morning to you, Kentse. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, this book is for those who are too afraid to confront their past and those who are so burdened with self-guilt. What propelled you to write it?
I think I wrote this book as a measure to try and heal myself and in the process help anyone that could have been in same situations as I have, because I had a very difficult childhood and encountered a lot of multiple rapes. I lived on the streets. You know, I did almost everything that one would think wouldn't happen to a person in one life. So after living with depression for a few years and being an alcoholic, I decided to write this book so that I can try and assist myself to be a better person.
I mean, how did you find the strength to do all that?
I think it was a decision I made after giving birth to my sons, because I was always in a state of wanting to commit suicide. So after realizing the embarrassment I would leave my boys in, I decided, because I knew I had the ability to write, I decided, let me rather write a book and then maybe I'll get healed in the process and then try to turn my life around. So it was basically me being motivated by my kids.
And having said that, I mean, your family forms a huge part of this book, particularly the non-existent love and the relationship you've had with your mother.
Yes, I think it was very difficult for my family because none of them knew what was happening to me, because I left home when I was 19 and only came back after I had a mental breakdown in 2011. So it was very difficult for me to, you know, tell my family about this book. So, but between me and my mom, we were working things out, and I think it was just a process because she also had a very difficult childhood. So I think it was more of a cycle from my grandmother to my mother to me. So at some point it had to stop and I had to, you know, try and get rid of that cycle.
And I would imagine recounting and recollecting some of the painful memories while you're still writing this book was quite a daunting task.
Yes.
So it brought back memories, or were you just over them at some point?
No, you know, as much as rape is a physical activity, but the mental part of it never goes away. Because even yesterday, I had to drive through Hillbrow and I bumped into somebody's car because the memories came back and all that. So it's a process, it's a phase, and you still have to find a space where you can make a choice to say, I'm going to live a positive life, or you're always going to be stuck in the past. It's very difficult. So one can never say I am healed because it's a very long process.
It is a long process indeed.
Yes.
And I mean, just looking at you and listening to you speak, I do get a sense that, you know, you've got some sort of healing in a way to some extent. But have you really reconciled with those who played a major role in your painful past?
I have, because the most important part of healing is forgiveness. Because now you can't go anywhere carrying a lot of, you know, emotional baggage. So I have had a lot of spiritual interventions, and me having suffered a couple of different types of mental disorders, I really had to fight very hard for me to forgive anyone that has wronged me, or to forgive anyone that has been a part of my painful past. So I'm a better person now, and I think the best part of it is because I go around motivating and sharing my experiences with other people. So in a way, me helping them is me helping myself.
Yeah, basically, and forgiveness, you know, is one key factor towards healing. And if Mandela could forgive, who are we not to?
Yes, definitely,
And on the bright side,
better.
Yeah, on the bright side, this book will be adapted into an international film feature. How did this deal come about?
A couple of months ago, I came to Joburg and I met a young man by the name of Oscar Sachane.
Okay.
And I'm always presenting my book because I think I really wanted it. I really wanted to see my book on the big screen. So fortunately, he was on his way to LA Film Festival. And then he took like 16 copies of the book. And I saw him, you know, with a couple of big names there, and they were so interested, and a young man that specifically called back and said he wants to come through to South Africa to come and do an international film is a young man by the name of Aaron Alfonso. I think he produced Montgomery Bus Bike Boycott.
Okay. Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I'm not going to let you go until I ask you about your organization. Is it Pelegi or is it Pelegi Movement?
Pelegi Movement.
Pelegi, yeah.
No, it's an organization that advocates for the rights of rape survivors and gender-based violence victims as a whole. So that's where I get to, be passionate about helping them, because I was raped and I can relate and I know what they need and I know the process. So Pelegi is my NPO is just about me going into schools and talking to young girls about abortion, because I've done abortion, so they can relate, because it's very easy for them to listen to somebody who have shared similar experiences.
Jeez, you've been through a lot, eh?
Yes.
And thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know so many South Africans are being healed by just listening to you. And of course, with this book, they'll find all the healing that they possibly need. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
That was Kentse Badirwang. She is a founder of Pelegi Movement, NPO, and she's speaking to us about her book, a gripping novel inspired by her own life story titled KATTEY'S ARROW, Cruel Journey to Her Purpose. Well, you can also join us for our Sunday book feature to talk about some of the books that you're currently reading or have read, and whether you're a lone reader or belong to a certain book club. Just send us some of your favorite picks. All you have to do is simply to email, to Facebook, or tweet us a picture of the book with a relevant caption by using our social media platforms. Use our Twitter handle at @MorningLoveSABC or #MorningLoveSABC. You can also send us or tag us on Facebook, or send us a message on our page, that's MorningLoveSABC, or simply send us an email on morninglive@sabc.co.za. This is Morning Live. We'll take a short coffee break.